Hey there, superheroes! Today's video is all about living from the end so that you can easily manifest your desires. Welcome back to another video. I'm Scarlet Grace from Seraph.com, and I help people create a life beyond their wildest dreams. So what is living from the end? Well, to manifest something, you need to focus on it, right? Well, that is usually easy for smaller things, or things that we believe are easy to manifest, like a cup of coffee, for example. But when we're focusing on something we really want, or something we believe is big or difficult, or something that is really important to us, we often create resistance. So we start imagining getting the keys to the new car, and our brain goes, but that doesn't seem very probable. What if it doesn't happen? How will I ever find so much money? What if I find the money for the car, but some emergency happens and I have to spend it all there? Here's the problem. Often when we think we're focusing on what we want, in this case getting a new car, what we are actually doing is we are, without realizing it, actually focusing on what we don't want. In this case, how difficult or improbable it is to get that new car. The solution to that is what Neville Goddard calls living from the end. What is living from the end? We already have what we desire. See, we don't actually create anything that doesn't already exist. Every possible version of your future already exists. By living from the end result you desire, you're navigating towards that specific future versus a future where the thing you want doesn't exist in your life. So how can you start living from the end? There are two things you need to do. The first thing you need to do is to create a small movie or visualization in your head where you already have what you desire. Not a visualization of you acquiring what you desire, but a visualization of you already having it. If you want a new car, for example, don't visualize the scene where you get the car. Visualize driving in your new car, or paying the insurance for the car for the second year in a row. This would imply that you've already had that car for 2 years. If it's a new house, then imagine something like a gathering at your house, and one of the neighbors saying, "I can't believe you've lived here for only 1 year. I feel like we've been friends forever." So essentially what you need to do is imagine a point in the future that's months or years after you got what you want to manifest, and zoom into a specific moment there where having your desire is a new norm, where having your desire is not a new thing but something that's a natural part of your life. The second thing you need to do is to live from the end even when you're not visualizing. What I mean by this is that as you go about your day, think like the person you'd be if you had your desire already, and act from the point of view of that person. For example, as you're unlocking the door of your current apartment, imagine that you're actually unlocking the door of the house you're manifesting. When you go to bed at night, imagine that you're not in your current bedroom, but going to bed at your new house. When you're making coffee in the morning, imagine you're making coffee in your new house. If what you want to manifest is your soulmate, then as you sit on your couch watching TV, imagine that you aren't alone. Imagine that your soulmate is sitting right next to you, enjoying the movie. When you go to bed at night, imagine that they're laying next to you. It's a bit like wearing virtual reality glasses. You live your day as you normally would, but you overlay your experiences with the reality you desire to have instead of focusing on the one you currently have. By living from the end in this way, you're choosing, out of the infinite possible futures available to you, the one where you have what you desire. And if you focus on living from that future, it will eventually become the present for you. By the way, did you know that just like there are infinite versions of the future that already exist, there are also infinite versions of the past that already exist? And just like you can choose the future you want, you can also choose a different past. Next week's video is going to be about how to choose a different past, so if you want to know how to do that, then hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you won't miss it. That's it for today. If you like this video, then comment below and let me know.